recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZedGamesAU.
Hello, hello, hello. You're
Hello.
Zed Games.
Ooh.
Here on 4ZZZ.
Ooh.
I'm Maylee, and I'm here in the studio with...
Zahra.
And Hazel.
And how are you both?
I'm doing so good today, Maylee. How are you?
I'm also doing so good.
Oh, and you, Hazel?
What
It
a
better be.
coincidence. I'm doing so good.
Oh,
Heck yes.
this is a great night. This is already a great night. I'm so
Ready to talk
excited.
about some games.
Ooh. And maybe even some news,
Some news, yes.
perhaps.
And I think I want to talk to you guys about what you've been playing recently, but I think you have something to mention before we do that.
I do have some very exciting news. Next week, Saturday, 22nd of July, will be the Queensland Games Festival being held at the Brisbane Powerhouse. It's an all-day event where local devs and studios will be showcasing their games. There's a few workshops also to check out, and we will also be running a game dev hot seat where we interview pretty much everyone and we make them come up on stage and talk about their projects. So
It's very fun.
yeah, it's very fun. It's free. Just turn up, check things out. It's gonna be awesome.
Now we can talk about what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing a game about escape rooms.
That sounds really fun.
It is very fun. I don't want to talk about it too much right now because I'm hoping to review it in a little bit, but
mysterious.
it's pretty good. If you like escape rooms, this is it's like the escape room for home and one person, which usually tends to be the issue with trying to organize an escape room. You need multiple
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll stay tuned for
I
that.
have not been playing much.
What?
Well,
Why
I
are you
just
here?
finished a
This is for games.
Look, I've had a busy week with things that aren't
Okay.
playing games.
What
But
would you
I
want to be
am-
playing?
I'm gearing up to start playing Destiny again.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
How about you, Maylee? What have you been playing recently? You've been quite silent on the topic so far.
Because I'll say what I say 50% of the time I've been asked this question on air. I've been playing Dead by Daylight.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I had no
Did you
idea,
know I play
Maylee.
that game? Look, some people have like thousands of hours in it, and I only have several hundred.
There you go. You know, it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective.
Entirely reasonable.
Yes, very reasonable, and I'm not going to stage an intervention.
But I've also been playing some board games, some of which I've been working on reviews for, and one of which I will be talking about later tonight.
Oh my goodness.
But that's all I'll say for now.
Oh,
It too is mysterious.
a little cliffhanger.
I think I better cut to some music before I say too much.
So you're listening to Zed Games, is that it?
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Hello, you're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games. You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Perfect. Thank you. Welcome back to Zed Games here on 4ZZZ. I'm Maylee, and we have some news for you, some video game news. I hope you enjoy.
This week in gaming news, Sonic's dad has been sentenced. Yuji Naka, former Sega and Square Enix developer and co-creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, has now been sentenced after being convicted for insider trading. The punishment? 2.5 years prison time, a probation period of 4 years, and fines totaling 173 million yen. However, he has been given a 4-year suspended sentence due to showing remorse, meaning that he will not be in prison, but will still need to comply with a number of rules presented by the court and pay the fines. 87% of classic video games are missing. The Video Game History Foundation has revealed a study claiming that the very large majority of older video games are missing or totally unavailable to the public, and the problem may be due to outdated copyright laws. The Entertainment Software Association claims, however, that there is no such thing as an obsolete game, given that video games are largely digital. The Video Game History Foundation has argued that in cases where software has become abandoned or when companies are not willing to undertake their own preservation, libraries and other archives should be allowed to preserve and digitally release games. VGHF hope that with some changes, future gamers will never have to fondly think back on a childhood game that is just impossible to replay for various reasons, as well as create a more cohesive archive of video games, for historical purposes of course. Football rebranded. EA Sports used to be FIFA's largest commercial partner before the two parted ways. But what is EA Sports to do instead of yet another FIFA game? A new football game, just without all that FIFA branding. The new game, FC 24, has been revealed with its official announcement trailer, marking the end of an almost 30-year era. It's rather motivational, although some of the comments seems to expect more of the same, which isn't surprising considering that football hasn't had a major update in around 100 years. Sega says blockchains aren't fun. While what makes a video game and what are video games and other such questions are often topics for debate among gamers, Sega seems to have figured out that a game should be fun. Shuji Utsumi, Sega's co-chief operating officer, has reported that although the company were initial supporters of blockchain gaming, have now decided against pursuing it, feeling that it would cheapen their more iconic IPs. The action in play-to-earn games is boring. What's the point if games are no fun, says Itsumi. Sega do still plan to allow third parties to use characters from their less popular IPs as NFTs, but it's unlikely that we'll be seeing Sonic the Hedgehog NFTs from Sega. And now for some upcoming games. July 13th brings Manic Mechanics for the Switch and Testament, The Order of High Human for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4 and Xbox One. July 14th brings Exo Primal for the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4 and Xbox One, and Jagged Alliance 3 for the PC. July 17th you can expect Sticky Business for the PC. July 18th brings Murder is Game Over, Streaming Death for the PC, Unidentified Fallen Objects for the PC and Switch, and Viewfinder for the PC and PS5. July 19th brings Blackout Protocol for the PC and The Repair House for the PC. And July 20 brings Homeseek for the PC, Kill Squad for the PS5 and PS4, Punch Club 2 Fast Forward for the PC, and Unholy for the PC. That's it this week in gaming news.
Thanks for the news, Zahra.
You're welcome. Thanks for the news, Pass, Zahra.
you did a good job.
I did a great job. I don't want to talk about insider trading. I'm actually alive when I wanted to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog stuff.
I'm just glad he's not going to prison.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think he's an innocent soul. He shouldn't be in there.
Are you talking about Sonic the Hedgehog or
Yuji Naka?
Sonic the Hedgehog is not an innocent soul.
Sonic.
No.
You know what? Yeah.
Sonic
Sonic has definitely broken many speed laws. Is actually canon. Yeah. I did want to talk a little bit about the game's history thingo. Because, what's...
I don't know a lot. I don't know as much as Sonic as I know you would like me to know.
No, that's fine.
But now all I'm picturing is like that news reporter guy from Spider-Man, a version of him, but for Sonic. And he's really mad because Sonic...
J. Jonah Jameson?
Keeps breaking the speed laws. Yes.
I want pictures of Sonic!
I mean, no, there is oh god, okay, there is an episode of Sonic Boom where Sonic gets pulled over and gets given a speeding fine. He's like, I'll fight this in court, but I don't think they're gonna accept gotta go fast as a legitimate medical excuse. And it's like, okay, alright.
But he gotta go fast.
He gotta go fast, but apparently it's not good enough for people these days. I mean, you know what it is like with the courts and laws and stuff.
The man.
Yet again, we have gone off topic to talk about Sonic.
I literally was about to talk about preservation of games history. Yeah, this is you. This is all you, Maylee, and you should...
Preservation of games history is very important.
Yeah, I mean, we've all have had a game from our childhood that we cannot access now for whatever reason. It's either impossible to get your hands on, or it's selling on eBay for like $5,000.
Yeah.
Or like ROMs and discs exist of it, but you can't get a console to play it, and like it can't be emulated right now.
Yeah.
Or at least not well.
It's a very frustrating thing. Like we have archives and libraries where you can actually borrow books, you can borrow films, you can borrow songs, all that kind of stuff. Like that is generally quite accessible.
And yet companies like Nintendo still say this game is 20 plus years old.
Pay $60.
You can't have it. You can't have it.
Pay $60 to play the weird emulated version of it, and it's going to run worse than an actual.
And it's not going to be accurate to the gameplay of the original.
No, it's like that study did say that 80% of games produced before 2010 is missing.
Whoa.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of games.
Do you think we are likely to see things change?
I think we are very likely to see things change. Like, I don't want to put any time frames or anything like that, but to me this seems like something that's really important. Video games are a fantastic and it's such a beautiful, immersive medium. And it would be not only a shame, but I would say a disgrace to not take steps to try and preserve more of it. It's kind of sad.
It's horrifying to... it's really sad to think of the games that we can't play and probably won't ever be found and saved. But then to think if nothing is done 20 years from now, the games that we're playing now, a lot of them will be gone. Not the big ones, but
like perhaps some of the smaller indie games that we're enjoying right now, that could disappear.
And most of my favorite games are the smaller ones, and I want to be able to play them in a few decades and relive that.
Yeah, and I'm sure we've had similar discussions in the past about how you don't really get to own a lot of games these days. They're sort of tied to your account, and if that service goes down...
Gosh, what happens if Steam dies? What do I do?
God forbid. I'm knocking on wood. Because too scary.
Steam does not let you change your account name that you use on the login screen.
Yeah.
So if you use something that you don't want associated with you anymore, like a dead name or something,
get with the times, Steam.
There's no way to transfer your games to another account, and you can't change that username. And Valve have actually said, this will never change.
Great.
All right. Love
that. I don't know their reasons behind it, but not good enough.
Best you can do is family sharing, which is not good.
No. So I think we should go to some music, but I have one quick question before we do. If you could pick just one game to save to be able to play 3 decades from now, for you and to be able to share with other people for the future generations, what game would you save?
Oh, that's a really good question. Can we think on it?
Yeah. Maybe we'll come back at the start of our next segment after some songs.
Woo.
All right.
The Brisbane Pinball and Arcade Collective Showcase 2023 Thunder and Lightning is fast approaching.
For the 3rd year running, Brewdog Brewery and Taproom at Murarrie will be hosting Australia's highest attended competitive pinball and classic arcade events as part of the BPAC Showcase.
With over 70 pinball machines and 40 arcade games on the brewing floor, it's a haven for gamers young and old.
Head to bnepac.org for more info and tickets. Netherworld are proud sponsors of BPAC and 4ZZZ.
Welcome back to Zed Games. I'm Maylee. I'm here with
Zahra
and Hazel.
I'm just having a bit of a giggle, so...
Yes. Sometimes we kind of get into we continue our tangents during the music breaks, and then we realize that there's 5 seconds left for us to come back, and it's time for us to wrap up the sillies before we get silly on air.
Yes. Save some for you.
But we did have some answers for what games we would like to preserve, and my answer is Minecraft.
Which seems like the best answer.
Oh, I mean... it's best is subjective, but objectively,
The cultural
yes.
impact of Minecraft.
I mean, well, what about your selection?
It was an easy choice for me. I mean, there are many games that are worthy of it, but it would have to be Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Oh, oh my. Okay, no,
that was the first game that got me into games.
Yeah,
so it's
I think it might have been the first game that actually made me cry.
Oh yeah,
like it did a really great job of sort of introducing and building these characters that just had such a big impact. They're so likable.
Yeah,
they're so likable, and that makes it hurt more. How about you, Hazel?
My answer is Halo Combat Evolved.
Oh, very good answers tonight.
Yeah.
Very good answers.
And before the break, we were talking a little bit about games preservation and how Steam is very toxic to games preservation in that you can't even like transfer things between accounts or change account names. Seamus has texted in to tell us that you can change your profile name on Steam. Yes, you can change the name that everybody else sees, but you can't change the name that you see when you log in.
Steam will allow
written
you
in
to
stone.
show other people what you want, but you must suffer privately.
You must suffer privately, yes.
And I've had my Steam login name for a very long time. I know I'm a different person now. I'm less cringe now.
Some of us were lucky to create accounts with cool names when we were 12 or whatever the minimum age is for Steam. And some of us were not so lucky.
I used my first gamer tag name, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
It was about 12 when I got my Steam account, but the name had been made for Neopets. So if that gives you an example of it's fine. It doesn't make me sad to see it, so I guess I'm lucky, but I have grown past that.
For some people it does. It sucks. For other people it's a reminder of what we were like but before our brains were fully formed.
Yeah.
I do have a review.
A review?
Yes. I just want to drop that in case anyone was interested in
I am
hearing.
so interested.
Would love to hear about it.
Are you sure you don't want to talk about Sonic, though?
Oh, Maylee, you keep doing this to me. Of course I want to talk about Sonic.
Well, you can't. You got to review games
that aren't Sonic. Okay, well, I guess it's a good thing I have one written right here.
How convenient.
Amaru, the self-care virtual pet, is developed by Six Wing Studios and is available on Android and iOS. So, I was walking through the woods, dwelling on my thoughts. You know, work is so hectic, someone took their bad day out on me, I never have time to just practice mindfulness and gratitude and whatever else is recommended for stress and anxiety and all that jazz. I know it should be something I could implement into my morning commute. I know that while I'm putting my things away at the end of the day, I could list 3 things I'm grateful for. I know I could. I know that I should. I know that I must do these things. I know that I have many little habits that make things more difficult than it needs to be, but I seem unable to change those habits or create new ones. Either I'm too tired, too busy, or I just plain forgot about it until I'm in the middle of a call, or it's so late at night that I'm half asleep anyway. I know some of you can relate to this cycle, but I came across the most remarkable thing while walking through the woods. A frightened Amaru dared to poke its head out of a nearby bush, eyes wary, third body shivering from anxiety. And we looked at each other. And for a moment, all those worries, all that stress and anxiety, all of a sudden it had taken the form of a cat-like winged critter. And I calmed it down. And although it seemed apprehensive, I was able to feed it. And so we started our journey together. Amaru, the self-care virtual pet, is a mobile game centered around Amaru, a small creature with a lot of anxiety. The entire game is done in a 2D cel-shaded art style, with Amaru itself coming with 2D animations, a bit like a cartoon. The goal? To establish positive habits, practice self-care, and to have fun along the way. So how does the game do all this? The main subject is Amaru, who will be a reflection of your progress. Logging in, you'll notice that Amaru appears frightened and anxious. But as you complete activities, that anxiety will fade away. Activities can include in-game activities such as playing one of the mini-games, which can include solving puzzles, stacking stones, or a musical memory game. You can manage the difficulty, mode, and length of these games, so if you only have time for a few minutes, it can be quite accommodating for time restrictions. Other in-game activities includes following a guided meditation, mindfulness exercise, or writing a journal entry. As well as looking after Amaru, of course. You can customize your Amaru all the way down to the coat pattern. You can also pet Amaru. With mini-games, it's implied that you are playing with Amaru, and you can feed Amaru a variety of treats like carrots, cupcakes, and sushi. Yes, quite the variety. The game will want you to complete 3 activities daily. What activities specifically? That's up to you. You get 3 slots and you can assign activities to them. As you tick them off, it gives you progress such as new treats, new mini-games, new activities, experience, and more. I'm not the best at writing a journal entry every day, so my 3 activities is to play with Amaru, complete a guided meditation, and to go outside. It's not the most ambitious goal, but many small steps can eventually help you scale a mountain. So I would recommend focusing on achievable habits, based on your personal habits and preferences. Over time, Amaru slowly becomes more confident and more comfortable around you. In time, you can send Amaru off to explore and find treasures, set yourself some new goals, and keep discovering what the game has to offer. I do have to mention at this point that I did play the free demo, and I did experience a lot to the game. As you progress, you discover snippets of Amaru's story and how it ended up with you. You'll learn that Amaru is just a cub really, a little baby. And although progress does have a cap in the demo, you still have a lot you can play around with. I didn't feel the need to purchase it, although I still might choose to. I did have some problems, however, and I'm not sure if these are isolated issues or me issues. For example, I had allowed for notifications and to receive a reminder from Amaru in the morning and in the evening, so I could check on Amaru during my work commute and as part of my bedtime routine. These notifications didn't quite work, which sounds kind of minor, but for an app that's built around establishing more consistent habits, it did become an issue. Effectively, it was the same problem as before, because I would remember to check on Amaru during inconvenient times and not before work or before bed. You also can find gratitude glints, which gives you some rewards as you complete activities. But they do come with a little quote that feels a little shallow. This seems like such a silly, petty thing. I didn't like this objectively positive thing, but they are generic, and when you do get a lot of them, they feel meaningless. But I'm not the type of person who does affirmations in the morning, and I'm sure if you are that person, you might appreciate it more. But I still get rewards, so at the end of the day, I'm kind of just being a hater. Regardless, I did appreciate this game for its achievable goals. Its ability to customize gameplay to your own quirks and schedules. Maybe you'll benefit from more ambitious goals, like going for a jog every day, doing 25-minute meditations, or making sure you get your 5 serves a day. Maybe you're at a point where you need a little creature to get you out of bed and brush your teeth. The game does not judge you for this, and it doesn't punish you either. It's quite easy to help get Amaru out of its anxious state, and if that's the only thing you manage to do, then that is a win. But if you still have trauma from the 10 dog running away, it's okay. No. Amaru will still be there napping after an adventure.
Why would you say that?
I'm sorry, but it's okay, because Amaru is still here napping after an adventure. I dropped this app for a month, and my progress hadn't been lost. Amaru was fine, and I fed it a crab leg. So hey, if you want a cute little virtual pet to beg for treats, listen to you play a musical memory game, and just be a fun, low-key way of helping you build self-care habits,
I do.
Then this might be the gamified self-care app for you, Maylee.
Wow.
It's not going to fix everything, and you still have to put in some work.
Boo.
But if you need that immediate dopamine hit while you try to create some long-term habits, Amaru is here.
Yes.
Anyway.
That is what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, anyone who has a pet knows the power. Yes, Maylee is showing me an do it for him image, and it's just Amaru pasted all over it, and it's so accurate because you log in and you see your little Amaru just like looking so scared, and you're like, okay, buddy,
I'm gonna meditate.
I'm gonna meditate for you. And Amaru's like, yes, meditation, let's go. I'm fist pumping while I'm saying
Little
this.
buddy is so psyched about meditation.
Like I think it's a very robust app, and there's a lot of features for it, and I just used the free demo, so like it's worth checking out.
Cool.
It's worth checking out.
Love games with free demos that actually let you get a good feel for what it does.
Yeah, like I know that I've reached the end of where my story can progress through the free demo, but like I still have access to all the features, so it's whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm in control. It's nice.
I like it. I like the idea that this might not be for you, but don't hate.
Yeah.
Like,
don't be like Zahra.
Well, I'm
Unless
only a
it's
hater
something-
about the freaking
get
fortune cookies.
If you don't get it, like, that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah. I can, like, it has been helpful, and I can see it being very helpful for some people, and maybe not so helpful for others. But, you know, that's how these things work. Not everything.
Can I share a weird anecdote?
Sure.
Yes. You know those, like, horrible AI chatbot apps that get advertised to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard this story about this, like, old lady in Sweden or something who was very isolated and lonely, and she had a boyfriend in one of these AI chat apps. That was, like, kind of her only quote-unquote human contact. And then they just, like, updated the app, and his behavior completely changed. And it, like, devastated her.
This is heartbreaking.
This is so sad.
I'm just, like...
Are you saying Amaru's going to change?
Sometimes weird little apps like that, like, maybe you don't get it. Maybe it's not for you. Sometimes it can be really important to someone, and it can help them a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I get the
the moral of the story now.
I thought you were just like, I want you to suffer and be
just
sad.
like, what? Yeah. I mean, everything has a function. Sometimes the function is not for you, but it might be for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you for that
No
review.
worries.
That was fabulous. Welcome back to Zed Games on 4ZZZ, and I'm here in the studio. My name is Maylee, and I'm here in the studio with
Zahra.
Hazel.
Ez.
Oh, Jesus.
Where
did you get it? What? You just popped into existence. Like, at that very moment. That was actually very frightening.
Yeah.
Can you not do that?
I'm like, what are those grumpy dudes in Mario where they just, like, pop up out of the pipe?
I call them the grumpy dudes that pop out of the pipe.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's actually what they're called.
Technical term.
My uncle from Nintendo told me so. Maylee!
Does your uncle run Nintendo?
No.
My
that'd be
uncle
silly.
runs Nintendo.
Oh my gosh, maybe they hang out. Maybe they hang
Weird.
out. Maybe
My uncle also runs Nintendo.
Maybe all our
coincidence.
Hazel, do you have an uncle who works at Nintendo?
No, I have an uncle who lives in the woods.
Oh.
Plot twist.
That one is not hanging out
Love
with
you,
our
Uncle
uncles. Appreciate you, Uncle Bob.
Shout out to Bob.
Anyway, back to games.
Games, yes.
I've been playing them recently.
No.
Yes. But I'm here to talk to you about a non-video game.
What would you call that?
Board game.
A board game?
Like,
I'm bored already.
no, not
Get
that.
out of here. Leave.
Like a flat square board
Turn his mic off.
that you play little pieces on.
Oh, okay. Tell me more about this board game of yours.
No, I'll tell you more about dragons. Dragons are ferocious creatures who wield their immense power to assert themselves over peoples and lands.
Ooh.
That is the case most of the time. But in Flamecraft, there are artisan dragons. They are friendly and creative creatures who can spout flames to help them with their specialized and unique crafts.
Ooh.
They are highly sought-after companions for human crafters for their ability to draw in and delight customers. Flamecraft is a board game published by Cardboard Alchemy for 1 to 5 players aged 10 years and older, where players become flame creepers. No.
Oh, no.
Flame keepers. People skilled at communicating with these dragons. Your job is to match dragons with stores where their talents can shine and in turn grow your reputation as the greatest flamekeeper around. Before I go into the bits and bobs, I want to start saying that this game is absolutely gorgeous, one of the most beautiful board games I've ever played. Every piece of artwork looks like it's been pulled out of a children's fantasy book, and it made playing through the world such a pleasure. The thing I appreciated most was the rulebook. It was beautifully designed and laid out so simply that whenever I needed to find a rule, it was easy. When I first pulled out the pieces, I was a little nervous that I wouldn't be able to pick up the gameplay because there's a lot going on. I did need the rulebook by my side for the first round, but after that, once we'd all had our first turn, everyone at the table felt confident that we knew what to do and only occasionally checked back in with the booklet.
Nice. That's very good.
Yeah, it's a really good situation. But what exactly is Flamecraft? Well, it revolves around bustling business districts of a friendly dragon-loving village. Here you'll find a variety... Oh my god. I've scrolled too far in my notes.
Ooh.
Here you'll find a variety of artist storefronts that are each unique, but fit into one of 6 broad categories of art: bread, meat, iron, crystal, plant, and potion. Conveniently, the artisan dragons of this world fit into those same 6 categories. You can turn spent pairing I have gotten kerfuffled. There are things happening in the studios.
I'm really caught up on meat art.
Meat art?
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, cooking...
I'm picturing, those really beautiful sushi arrangements.
Ooh.
That's exactly it. So it's the same with the bread art, that food can be art. So you've got the bakeries and stuff, but you've got little stores where you can go in and buy kebabs. Artisanal kebabs.
Oh.
Artisanal salamis.
Oh.
It's getting close to dinner time.
So how does that gameplay work?
Well, your turn can be spent pairing a dragon to a new home, but you can also gain items and favor from the dragons already at work. And you can use the resources that you get from doing that to enchant the stores and make them even more rewarding.
So you could have like an enchanted meat dragon?
Yes, working at an enchanted meat factory.
Wow, that's kind of
I want to live in this world. I want to
Y'all are
live in
really
this
hung
world.
up on the meat.
Oh, we're hungry.
It's a little unusual as an element, like...
I mean, bread's also very good.
Bread is universally acceptable as an element.
Mm-hmm.
It should be in all fantasy, fire, water, air,
Bread.
Meat. Clay.
Salt and pepper.
Yum.
Spice dragon.
I'm sorry, Maylee. We just keep
derailing
food.
No. This is a good representation of the sorts of conversations that I had with people while we were playing the game.
Oh.
So it's a little taste test for everyone listening.
Taste test.
My meat dragon is 10 times better than yours.
Exactly.
My bread dragon made this sourdough. Yeah.
Sourdough dragon. Gluten-free dragon.
Yum.
When it isn't your turn, you can spend that time cooing over the cute dragons in your hand, appreciating the beautiful art.
Nice.
Groaning at the puns of the names in the shops.
A classic, yes.
And psyching out your opponents.
Oh, good stuff.
At the end of the game, the Flame Keeper who has built the most reputation among the townsfolk will be known as the Master of Flamecraft, and everyone else will be known as losers.
Yeah, that seems fair, because they are losers.
Yeah.
You're either the Master of Flamecraft or you're a loser.
There's no
Actually,
in between.
Those are the two options.
Which one are you?
In the amount of games that I have played, I've won most of them.
Oh.
Yeah, it's true. You crushed me at Wingspan that time.
Yeah.
You said that the game was 1 to 5 players, didn't you?
Yes.
So you can actually play it by yourself.
Yes, you can.
That's amazing.
Oh, I love this.
Oh.
Sometimes I feel like Maylee is like the most advanced gamer of all of us.
Yeah.
It's a secret I'm hiding. I don't let it show.
Quietly, like, just taking the lead. You know, everyone's in a kerfuffle, but Maylee's like, do.
I'm good at some games, but challenge me to a rhythm game, like in an arcade, and I will fall apart.
You say that, but I feel like...
No, I'm being entirely
Maylee
honest.
absolutely tore up Cards
Dance
Against
Dance
Humanity the other week.
Yeah,
that's
pretty brutal. For us, not for you.
No. Just another Tuesday night. And it wasn't even Tuesday.
Oh, that is an actually very gorgeous game. Like all the art for it. Yeah, I did. Like you were right when it says it looks like it's from a children's book.
What was the name of the game again?
Flamecraft.
Oh, cool. All right.
I advise everyone to look it up right now.
I will say that this game isn't going to appeal to people who are looking for hardcore strategy. Well, you definitely need to be strategic on your turns, but the game is loose. It excels at facilitating conversation and laughter and quick actions. Plus, it really isn't limited to people who are seasoned board game players. You only need at least one person willing to read the rules. And if you have that and a group of players with curiosity for board games, I promise you'll find the game enjoyable. It's really accessible and just a great time. So
I'm sold.
If you want board games, play Flamecraft.
I'm sold. I want to play Flamecraft. I want to have Dragon Stuff.
We're gonna have a Zed Games board game day. We'll play Flamecraft and some other games that we can review in the future.
Yes.
I want gluten-free loaf dragon.
Bring it.
Yeah?
Yes.
You can have it.
Excellent.
Oh, so excited.
I'm afraid we can't talk about dragons forever.
Oh.
Just like we can't talk about Sonic forever.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear us talk some more, we'll be at an event.
We will.
We will be at an event called the Queensland Games Festival, which you can check out on queenslandgamesfestival.com. It is later this month. It is a free public event where you can come and play a bunch of games that are in various states of development by local developers.
Yeah.
We hope to see you there. And come tell us what game you would save.
July
for
22nd.
Future generations. Yep.
Have a beautiful night, everyone.
Bye.
Zed Games out.
Ew.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.
You have lost the game. Game.